Sup peoples, welcome back to See These CDs, where in each one of these videos I take a closer look at a select CD from my own personal collection, and I just explore like the overall cover art, graphic design, and packaging for the CD, and take a more in-depth look. If you haven't already figured it out, today we're going to be speaking about Jay-Z's 2007 project or CD, American Gangster. It was the track or like the CD that was paired with the actual movie. Starring Denzel Washington. If you're not familiar, check it out. Great film. But it was also somewhat of, it still was like an independent album by Jay. I love this CD. I think the CD's dope as hell. This is one of my favorite Jay-Z CDs, to be honest. I think I'd definitely put this at number 2 for my personal Jay-Z collection, or just what I think or out of his work is the best. Definitely my second favorite Jay-Z CD. So I thought it was definitely I just thought it was a good place to start. More specifically, American Gangster came out November 6, 2007. It clocks in at just under an hour at 58 minutes and 38 seconds, and it was released under Rockefeller Records as well as Def Jam. For the art direction and design, it was credited to J.P. Robinson. Jay-Z was also credited as well, which understandable. I'm sure he was very involved with making sure the art captured him, and also was as far as the visuals go, worked well with the movie as well as the the soundtrack and what you were hearing. Just to give you a little more of a background for J.P. Robinson. He actually is a Southern soul singer that has a slew of singles that came out around the 1960s. He has a few EPs as well, but I'm pretty sure all his singles were chart topping. He went on to have more of a career somewhat behind the scenes as art direction and design for plenty of projects with artists, some of those being Rihanna. On several projects, Good Girl Gone Bad, Loud, and Talk That Talk. He also did art direction and design for Future's project Pluto, The Dream, several projects of his, Love King, the Love, and he's also worked on which. It kind of threw me off because there's just so much love, but it was J-Lo's project, Love, with a question mark at the end of it. It's just the word love with a question mark. So, yeah, check that out as well. And The Fray is the Helios project. He worked on, I'm not sure if this was postpartum, but he worked on Michael Jackson's Escape project. That was in 2014, so I can't remember specifically what year MJ passed. I just want to give you a background on J.P. Robinson's. I think it was pretty impressive. Granted, he has a lot of writing credentials, but it's just nice to see that having a music career dating back as far as the 1960s, how his career progressed. Got seemingly to a good place. A lucrative place, and still a very involved place with music. Late in his later age, it's just pretty dope. Other than that, there was as far as the photography goes, that was credited to Hype Williams, which I don't know. Every time I see Hype Williams, I just think that's a kind of a hefty name. He's got a whole bunch of work on his resume that you're probably most definitely familiar with. I think his 90s, I think his video credentials extend into, the early 90s, probably mid 90s, is where his career began, and he's been pretty relevant, well into, now. If you're not familiar, he is an American music video director, film producer, and screenplay writer. He's directed music videos such as Will Smith's Getting Jiggy With It. I think he actually won an MTV award for Best Music Video of the Year for that. Also TLC's No Scrubs. He's done so much work with Kanye West, dating back to Gold Digger. All the lights as well. Diamonds of Sierra Leone. He wrote the short film for Runaways, which was on I believe it was for like my beautiful dark twisted fantasy. It was that film with that bird girl. She's sitting at the table and shit. And yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting. But other than that, he also directed Speed Racer, which was produced, I believe, by the Wachowski brothers. Those are the people who did The Matrix. I liked Speed Racer back in the day. I enjoyed the film. I thought it was pretty dope. So yeah, I mean, Hype Williams, dude. Like, man, he's got a lot of. I mean, he's also worked with like Missy Elliott, Busta Rhymes, Nas, like on music videos, plenty of other substantial names with good resumes. So check out his work if you're not familiar with him. You probably already are. And then other than that, this next artist, which is credited for, so Hype Williams did the photography. Let's see. All right, so Hype Williams. All right, so J.P. Robinson was responsible for the photo on the back cover of the CD, and the CD label, and now Arthur Elgort was credited for the photography for the front cover and page 2, and also the inlay, which I'm not necessarily sure what the inlay is. But then Hype Williams is credited for all of the photography on the project. I just want to get that out there before I move on to Arthur Elgort. Or Elgort, because I already spoke so much about J.P. Robinson and Hype Williams previous to this. Arthur Elgort is an American fashion photographer, and he's best known for his work in Vogue. Really, I suggest you just check him out, man, because I don't know, his website, he had some crazy looking photos. I have to say, it made complete sense to me why Jay hired him for this project, considering the era of American Gangster, the time. And a lot of Arthur Elgort's photos are I don't know, they just have a very old timey retro feel. He took or at least from what I saw, he took a lot of pictures of jazz musicians, and he just, I don't know, the element that he caught him in, it's perfect. It was dope. Now he had this other picture of Madonna when she was young, and she fucking looked I don't know, it's kind of crazy. She looked it's gonna sound kind of ridiculous, but she looked like a phoenix or some shit. Not he edited it. It's just, I don't know. It was just a dope picture. There was another picture too that was crazy. But yeah, dude, just check him out. His work, I don't know. I was just I was stuck for a minute, just looking at stuff. But yeah, I've talked enough about each one of these artists. I mean, like I said, they have very lengthy, substantial resumes. So you can check any one of them out. It's completely understandable why Jay-Z involved them on his project. But let's dive in. Like I said, the front cover is credited to Arthur Elgort. You can see it does give you that old timey effect. There's no parental advisory label anywhere on the front booklet, which I think is a pretty interesting decision. I'm assuming, or I can't remember, back to when I purchased it, but I'm assuming it was most likely on the clear plastic on the outside. I don't know, I don't mind this at all. I think some people like to place the parental advisory logo on there because it does give you somewhat of an edgy feel, but I don't know. I think it was I don't know. It's a very Jay-Z decision to choose to not have it included. It's a lot cleaner. You're just consuming Jay. You're not getting any other distractions or influence. But yeah, we just have Jay, from what it would seem, walking into a bar. Very high light. You can barely see Jay-Z's face. The white light in the background. It's just shining, and Jay-Z's walking from that white light into this restaurant or bar. It's kind of a blue tint to it aside from the light, and then we just have in the center Jay-Z's name in red, as well as American Gangster right below that, and a gradient type of gray color. Jay-Z suited up, looking like a boss. So if we want to flip around back to it, I feel how many times have we seen Jay-Z lighting up a cigar and something, right? But yeah, no, it's still a dope picture. We have more of Jay-Z's profile, because there's not much light. It's shadowed. It could have been color corrected in the post production. Now that I'm thinking about it, because they probably just, I don't know, turned some hues down. But still a dope picture. Jay-Z once again jacket off, though, looking like a boss. Lighting the cigar. He probably just lit it. It's probably token. Then on his shoulder, we have in white each one of the tracks listed in order of how they play. Bonus tracks listed in red, or at least bonus tracks literally listed in red, like the words, and then we have the remainder of the tracks also listed in white, as well as below that, executive producer, other people affiliated with the CD and, responsible for putting it together, Rockefeller, like website below that, logo, then we have like, more, what do you want to say, like typography. All right, so yeah, if we just want to go inside the actual CD case, God damn, that shit. This was one of my favorite parts about, like originally opening this CD. I think that like the actual like cover to the CD itself is just like crazy looking. It's I don't know if you can see on camera, but it's got this like interesting texture to it. It's like grainy. It's almost holographic. But like similar to the front cover, we have Jay-Z's name in red above, as well as American Gangster in black listed below it. Then at the bottom, etched out of the picture, so it's just the basically the back of the CD. What we're seeing for the text is just like executive producing credits, A&R credits, and other like text regarding like. Like the label listed below that, as well as compact disc, I guess, at the bottom. I'm not really sure why that's needed. I feel like I haven't really seen that on too many other CDs, but I could be bugging. Then we have the Rockefeller logo right there. And then flip it around back, similar to other CDs we see. Nothing too different or out of the ordinary, but yeah, no, I just love the art on the the front of that cover. It's just dope. And then in the back, it's a similar image, just without all the typography and text and whatnot. So yeah, it's a continuation of the back of the booklet. So you're getting like one whole shot. But I would assume it's New York. But yeah, because I'm pretty sure the movie was set in New York as well. But yeah, let's go ahead and take the booklet out. Check that out. Pretty hefty booklet. First page, we have like a low light. It's almost like a fade to black type of ordeal going toward the left hand side. From the right hand side, we have a picture of Jay-Z with his his hand to his top of his head. Seems like he's contemplating. Then we have on the left hand side, over that fade to black or black background, listed in white text. Well, we have in red text the title of each one of the tracks. In white text after that, it lists the credits for each of the tracks. Try to get a decent shot of that whole thing. If you want to pause it, check it out for any reason, you can go ahead and do that. If you want to move on to the next page, we have Jay-Z in a different setting. Similar low lighting. Seems like he's it's probably from the same shoot where he was smoking that cigar. You can see some of the ash from the top of the cigar as he's chiefing it. And it seems like the text is just like fitted to wrap around like the focus of the picture. We can still see the smoke on the right page behind the the white credits for the songs. But yeah, toward the bottom is once again more of that fade to black effect. But then the real focus of this these two pages is Jay-Z on the left hand side. You see his image, like I said, sunglasses on, and he's smoking. And once again, it's that low light, with that blue tint. They're keeping consistent with the theme, as the majority of these books tend to do. If you want to go on to the next page, once again, like I said, which these are Ace of Spade bottles, which I definitely see Jay-Z fitting that in. Considering the businessman that he is, definitely fits his brand that he would fit that in. Also, the Rock Boys song is on here. I feel like that's also very fitting of this image. But yeah, once again, the text wraps around white, typography for the the credits, as well as red for the the titles. Below, yeah, we have some credits. I want to say it's just general for the CD itself. If you want to pause that, check that out. Go ahead and do that. And then another picture. This time, we're looking at like an intersection. I'm assuming it's probably, I would think it's probably close to like Jay-Z, where he grew up in New York. but it could just be a popular intersection from the movie. Once again, wraparound text, white credits, red track titles, and on this page once again continues the same theme. Just get a nice shot. Take a look at it. We have a picture of Jay, but in his sunglasses. It seems like they are somewhat replaced with the image of the city that he's also looking at. It kind of would seem, I'm assuming those are just like blurs from the lights on the left-hand side, or going toward the left-hand side. But it almost seems like they're in line with Jay-Z's line of sight. It could be wrong. But yeah, Jay-Z's in almost like a black and white image. But it's still got that that blue tint as well. I see like a very faint blue tint. So it could be black and white. Maybe they just put the blue tint over it. Once again, another page. It's continuing the order of the tracks and how they play. We have Jay-Z on the right-hand side, driving down the block, antique car, very dope. I'm assuming it's probably from the time frame of the movie. Very nice. Once again, low blue tinted light. And then the last page, we have the last track listed, American Gangster. We have Jay-Z's, I want to say, back to the camera. The camera is panned up at like a light that Jay-Z seems to be peering towards. Seems like he's still smoking that cigar, since we're seeing the smoke around him or coming from him. And then in red, we have all the credits for the CD right there, as far as people involved in putting it together, the visuals, the music, the sound, just everything, as far as business promotion, things of that nature. Everybody who had a hand in it. But yeah, I love this CD. I was trying to just be concise about it, because I could really go on and on about each one of these tracks. I love this CD. It's just the beats are just dope, and Jay-Z always does this thing, to be honest. I don't like every single one of Jay-Z's CDs, but yeah, he really knows how to zero in and focus on making a solid body of work when he wants to. He's so talented in that facet. It's pretty amazing. But yeah, I know it's probably one of my favorite songs. Ignorant Shit is another one that's up there. Success is dope. Pray is dope. It's just a lot. No Hook. There's plenty of great songs here. So check it out if you haven't already checked it out. But yeah, this is See These CDs. I was happy we took a closer look into American Gangster, Jay-Z's American Gangster. Go ahead and tune in next time and watch other videos. Engage, subscribe, comment. Anything you can be appreciated. But yeah, this has been See These CDs. I hope you tune in next time, and thanks. All right, people. Peace. I'm out.